8 years ago, I moved to Nicaragua. It was the beginning of a 2-year journey that got extended by 5 years because of one phone call. Like any good son, moving to a new country, I looked for a way to call my mother to let her know I was okay. A couple bus trips and several hours later, I finally found a phone that could make an international phone call. Unfortunately, it cost me 2 days' wage to make a 5-minute phone call to a teary voiced mother. Little did I know that that fateful call would have me loading phone cabins on the back of a donkey cart 2 years later at the start of to start a social enterprise. Now, I'll be honest. 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't call it a social enterprise because I had no idea what it was. What I did know as a Peace Corps volunteer was that I saw lots of problems that could be solved through entrepreneurship. And so what I want to talk to you about today is how we built a social enterprise in Nicaragua that became one of the largest phone companies in the country by lowering the cost of a phone call by 90% and disrupting the local telecom industry. So 6 years ago, my friend Edgar and I rented a wall inside of an ice cream shop. We installed 5 phone cabins, and little by little, we grew the company, just opening call shops around the country. But after 2 years of sacrificing the salary, we started to look for ways to expand our business beyond the call shops and grow our profits. So as many of you know, when you visited the developing world, you've seen cargo bikes. So cargo bikes are the most effective way to transport goods into rural areas. They transport Coke, oranges, even ice cream into small villages through these bikes, which got me thinking. If we can transport ice cream into rural areas, why can't we transport our low-cost phone technology into these same areas? So my friend Edgar and I did a quick brainstorm, and we decided to build a mobile call shop. We called it Llamadas pedaleadas, or pedaled phone calls. Now, while it's easy to understand what a phone cabin is, it may be a little more difficult to understand what a mobile call shop is. So let me walk you through the process of how we built it. So what we did is we took a cargo bike, and we installed a used car alternator on the back so that when you're pedaling, it's generating electricity that's stored in a used car battery. And then from the used car battery, we have a computer UPS to convert the energy to 110 volts. That would provide the energy to our low-cost phone call technology, allowing people in remote areas to make phone calls where there's no electricity. So if I were to ask you, what allowed us to scale to 100,000 customers? The phone cabins or the bike? Which one would you choose? The bike, right? Well, if you did choose the bike, you would have agreed with CNN and every other social investor I've spoken with over the last few years since I uploaded a video of it to the internet. You see, like any proud innovator, I was excited to show off my invention. And so sure enough, 5 hours later after uploading it to the internet, it was live on CNN in front of millions of people. But as you can guess, the bike was a commercial failure, and the phone cabin served 100,000 customers last month. Which got me thinking. I started to realize that much like the beer industry, sex sells in social enterprise. Only we have our own version of sexy. It's sexy keywords. And what I fell into the trap of was building a product that followed trends, buzzwords, and fads instead of listening to what my customer needs were. So if I were to describe this bike, it would be a locally sourced, pedal-powered, micro-franchise, employment generator. What it's not is commercially viable. And trust me, we tried to make it as commercially viable as possible. We tried it with our own employees. We tried to micro-franchise it. We tried it in big cities. We tried it in the smallest villages. And what we ended up with were more flat tires than revenue. So while I'm truly flattered that we got so much press and investor interest in our bike, my concern is that if we sell social enterprise with the latest fads or keywords, that the media and the investors will move on. And so now I want to talk about just 2 of my quick learnings. 1, business model sins cannot be washed away with the holy water of helping others. And 2, you must design your products for your customers and not the latest fads. Because what I've found, quite simply, is that a new take on an old solution can have the most financial and social impact. Thank you.